So I don't know if you guys run into this all the time, but the people who have the vote blue no matter who, don't worry if the guy isn't going to work for you, just fucking vote for the Democrat. So here's one of those guys, Jonathan Capehart. Do you know who Jonathan Capehart is? And folks, nothing...
I like his ties.
Me too. Yeah, Jonathan Capehart, yes. And there's nothing more inspiring to voters than browbeating them into voting for uninspiring candidates. And that's what he does. Reminder, Democrats, listen to me. Who cares if the eventual nominee only meets 80%? Heck, 50.1% of your checklist. Evicting Trump should be the most important item on that checklist. Which is how you got Trump in the first place. What good is evicting Trump if we don't address the system that created him to begin with? I like this guy. He goes, I'd vote for a turd with a D beside the name. My guess is you already have. I like this. Why the elite told you to vote for the lesser of two evils for 40 years? They are holding you hostage. Either you vote for their former Republican or you get Trump. Either put oligarchy-friendly candidates in office or you get Trump. And that's the bargain we're making. So it's the elites that propped this guy up, made him president, and now it's up to you to vote him out, even though the person who wants your vote isn't gonna promise to do anything to make your life any better. It's all your fault. This is all voter shaming. This is a losing strategy. Let me throw it to Rick. What do you think about this?
Saying vote blue no matter who is subconsciously admitting that you are intellectually and morally lazy.
Yes, I agree.
You didn't know that's what you just said, but if this was one of those courtroom dramas, your eyes would go with the oh shit. Yeah, because they're saying, I'm going to let you, and that's what we've always been saddled with. The progressives have always been dumped with the workload because the centrists were busy with their actual lives.
Yeah, well, it's like they gave up their leverage. So like, you saw I did a video about it. Bernie Sanders' campaign manager tweeted out, I will vote for Joe Biden if he's the nominee. Like, what does that get you? 18 months? You're supposed to make him change and bend and come left. That doesn't get him to do that. And this person says it perfectly. Now, in a democracy, it's about leveraging your power. And those who withhold support to secure more inducements from a politician are the ones who get what they want. Are you new to wielding leverage? Why settle for 50%? You see, it's these loser strategies that prevail establishment. That's exactly right. Hold your vote from them. So, like, after Hillary won the nominee, she moved to her nomination. She moved to the right. She picked Tim Kaine. She didn't pick a progressive as her vice president. She didn't say we're getting rid of superdelegates. She moved to the right, and everybody went, okay, I guess we have to vote blue no matter who. That's when you lose your strategy. I'm like, no, maybe you wait till 5 seconds before you go into that voting booth, and then you decide, maybe I'll vote for the Democrat. But up until then, you should be fucking leveraging your power and pushing them to move to the left and represent your issues. Let me throw it back to my panel.
Well, I want to say this, like the thing, if you look at the Tea Party strategy, there's obviously a lot I don't like about the Tea Party, but the Tea Party went to the Republican Party and said, if you don't vote for our things, we fucking walk. They didn't say any red will do. They said, we will walk, we will form our own party, we will leave this convention floor, we will get up en masse and walk the fuck out, and that's what progressives need to do with this goddamn bullshit party.
I'm with you.
Blue no matter who means guaranteed you will keep getting fucked.
Well, this guy says, alternatively, the donor class could, for once, compromise on a few positions so the rest of the plebes will come out and vote for policies we desire instead of voting against something which didn't work in 2016. Just a thought. Yeah, why don't they ever give in? Hey, they're only going to give us the things that you guys want, like Medicare for all, free college, and the wars, and a living wage. I guess Jonathan Capehart, I guess I'll vote for him anyway. That never goes the other way. It only goes one way. We're supposed to suck it. And I love what this guy says. This makes me want to not vote. Just being honest. It makes me want to not fucking vote too. And then underneath, every election is about selecting the least bad candidate. It's time to grow up and face reality. Because you won't endorse corruption, you're not a grown-up. That's what that says. And at the bottom he says, said the privileged centrist who isn't ever hurt by anyone in office beyond feelings. That's exactly right. So this guy says, yeah, it's always the same 50% we have sacrificed. Our health, wealth, equality, fairness. For my entire life, the Democrats have done their very best to avoid that progress 50% of the checklist for the past 50 fucking years. But don't worry, that 50% Democrats will never skimp on military spending or fossil fuel subsidies. One more. Completely disagree. The nominee matters. I will not vote for a candidate who will simply defeat Trump, only to take us back to the political climate that got him elected in the first place. Trump is a symptom, and the GOP will produce someone worse in 2024 if we settle for just evicting Trump. That is correct.
Plus, what an amazing strategy to reach people who don't usually vote or people who are undecided. Here is our person. They're kind of tolerable.
At this rate, by 2030, a Democrat will have the politics of George Bush, and then it'll be easier for Ellen to talk to him. Let's see. So if we elect a guy who only represents 50% of what we want, then maybe the next election we'll get somebody who only represents 25% of what we want. Huh? Am I right? I see a trend. Evicting corporate politicians is the most important item on my checklist. So I'm going to do me and vote for the candidate who will fight for the many and not just for the few. Trump is a symptom of a much bigger disease in this country. Yes, you are right. This plea seems reasonable, except so many centrist Democrats have shown it's in bad faith and only moves in one direction, towards your values plus who you support. If you want a coalition, it's a two-way street, not one side constantly browbeating the other to submit to the else. That's right. Submit or else. That's right. Hey, thanks for educating me, an ignorant working American, about what my political priorities should be. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And this is a minority bullying a giant majority around.
You mean
it's
yes.
comparatively this big.
You mean the minority being the centrists and the people who think who this system is working for?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what yeah. And by the way, I just want to tell you about Jonathan Capehart. First of all, I love, this is like a great slogan. Who cares if the nominee isn't fighting for you? That's your, who cares? Who cares if they're not fighting for you? Vote for who. So Jonathan Capehart was on MSNBC every day in 2016, bashing Bernie Sanders, never disclosing that his husband was getting a paycheck from Hillary Clinton. That's how you know he has integrity and is better than you. Yeah. So that's who Jonathan Capehart is. So when do you stop voting blue no matter who? So if the Democrats nominated a warmongering corporatist who put black people in jail, deregulate that, Hillary Clinton, okay. Still have to vote Hillary Clinton, all right? And now what if they nominate Joe Biden, who's even worse in lots of ways? Okay, still got to vote Joe Biden. What if they keep moving to the right, the Democrats? What if the Democrats nominate Mike Pence against Trump? Do you still vote for the Democrat who's Mike Pence to get rid of Trump? What if the Democrats nominate Mitch McConnell? What if they... So at what fucking point do you stop? There comes a breaking point for everybody. My breaking point is just nearer to reality, right? It was Hillary Clinton. That was my breaking point. I wasn't going to do it anymore. I did it for Barack Obama because at least he fucking told me sweet little nothings. Right? At least he romanced my fucking pants off. He didn't say, take him down and beat off yourself.
I remember when Hillary did that on the campaign trail. Take them off and beat it off yourself. That's when I voted.
They're waiting for a blowjob that will never come to pass.
I'm a nasty girl.
Why don't you just suck it yourself? I remember telling you that.
This guy says Trump didn't create this new American hellscape. He simply capitalized on the morally and financially corrupt system created by uninspired corporate-owned politicians. This is what happens when decades of concession and complacency collide. We need a reboot. Bernie 2020, I hear you. Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right?
Yeah.
And that's a smarty pants guy who said that. So look, did you see? Has anyone seen this going around? It says, "Dare liberals and independents." In 2020, there will be a candidate competing against Donald Trump for president. It's very likely this candidate isn't your first choice, isn't 100% ideologically pure, has made mistakes in their life, might not really excite you all that much, has ideas you are uncomfortable with. Please start the process of getting over that shit now instead of waiting until 2020. Hey, your voter. Hey, your
Aren't
voter
you inspired?
Your voter outreach needs a little work. That's all I'm going to say.
And in small print, they should say, written by someone who doesn't need $15 an hour, Medicare for all, student debt forgiveness, free college tuition, or a green goddamn New Deal. A rich asshole centrist wrote that.
Oh, okay, well, I'll take note of that, Graham.
Oh, Senator Warren, it's great to have you here.
Thank you so much, young man. Don't get me started. Anyways, back to you, Jimmy.
Liz Warren sounds like she's sucking on a lozenge made of a farmer from a Dust Bowl novel by Steinbeck.
Oh, you got me.
Oh, the R's. You're just sucking on a giant letter R. R.
And this is great marketing. Hey, we're going to suck. Get over it. That's what this is. Democrats. Hey, Democrats.
The official centrist bullshit party of the National Football League. NFL centrism for all. Get over it. Swallow it.
How about Hippocrats?
I like Hippocrats, too. Democrats, keep your expectations low and vote for us.
And sleep.
How about the very likely the candidate isn't your first choice, or my second choice, or my third choice, or my fourth fucking choice. Isn't 100% ideological pure, but is 90% made out of oil. Has made mistakes in their life. Yeah, like getting into politics. How about that?
Or maybe being a Republican till they were 47? I'm just asking. I turned 50 a couple months ago. 3 years ago, I wasn't a fucking Republican. I'll tell you that shit right now.
Well, I'll let you...
I get you. I hear you loud and clear, Graham.
But Senator Warren, you haven't really answered my question.
I hear you.
She needs to look into it.
Oh, maybe
She'll get back to you.
Later.
Do you have to ask an elder? How about number 4? Might not really excite you all that much, and may even repulse you. The nominee has ideas you are uncomfortable with. It's hilarious you think the Democratic nominee has ideas.
I just don't understand why we have low voter turnout. I just can't put my fucking
I
finger
don't
on
get
it.
it.
This
Hey,
is so exciting.
This is not how politics fucking works. Politics is about giving people something that'll make their lives better so you can inspire them to get off their ass on a work day and go fucking stand in line to vote for you. That's how politics works. This is how corporations want you to think politics works. And that's why they say this shit. This is coming right from the Center for American Progress. This never came out of a real person's head. This is coming out of a corporate think tank. And that's not how politics works, which is why we got Trump, which is what they're happier with than if we have a real progressive like Bernie or Tulsi.
And you know, when they say that this is the Center for American Progress, they are announcing they are the center for American progress.
This is real progress right here. Man, just not your first choice. All these bad. That's progress. That's how we're gonna. Remember when JFK said we're not gonna be able to put a guy on the moon by the end of the '60s? It's too fucking
grow up.
Yes.
Nobody knows how to do that yet.
Yeah.
All right, you fucking dreamers.
Remember when he said that? You want to put a man on the moon by the end of the '60s? Get over that shit right now. Remember when he said that?
We don't have time for your purity test.
Yes. Hey, Rosa Parks, don't move to the front of the bus with your fucking purity test. In fact, move to the middle of the bus. Move up one row at a time. Wait a couple years. Get bipartisan support.
And then move up another row.
Yes.
You go through the proper channels,
Yes.
Rosa. You don't just start breaking laws.
Thank you.
Cops are just doing their job.
Come on.
Cops are just doing their job.
Lunch counters are segregated for a reason. You're fucking with people's jobs. Just calm it the fuck down.
You think Bull Connor wants to be out there fighting with those people?
No. Those German shepherds don't want to be cut loose on people that just want basic human rights. Come on.
Our next live Jimmy Dore show is November 5th in Buffalo, New York, November 17th in Philadelphia, and December 27th in Honolulu. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all of our live shows and become a patron or a Jimmy Dore Show member at jimmydorecomedy.com/join and support the show. We give you hours of bonus content every week. Thanks for your support.